Here we are right now inside of Fisch. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the best enchants for every rod in the game. By watching this video guys, you are going to know what enchants to add on your rods and which rods to enchant and which rods to not enchant guys. Because honestly, if you don't watch this video, you might end up wasting some enchant relics which are really valuable on a rod that really shouldn't be enchanted. And instead, when it comes to later in the game guys, you might struggle to then get the best enchants on the rods that you're actually going to want to enchant. So watch this video guys fully up until the end to see which enchants are the best and to see if it's worth maybe re-rolling an enchant or not. I'll be explaining all that in today's video. Let's get on into it now guys. So let's go ahead and start off with the steady rod. Now the steady rod guys is the first rod that I'd even consider enchanting in the game. I don't have one right now guys, but you can buy them right here for 7k. Reason why guys is that the steady rod can take you all the way up from early game to late game guys in that one rod, because it's got decent stats all the way around. Now what's the best enchant for the steady rod guys? Well, the best enchant for the steady rod is going to be hasty. Hasty is the enchant for this rod because it has a lure speed of minus 60%. Now all the other stats of the steady rod are really good apart from the minus 60% lure speed. Having hasty guys combats that massive downfall for this rod and makes it actually OP guys if you have that enchant on, because that will drastically increase the lure speed and take what is a massive downside of this rod to not as big of a downside guys, and therefore making this being able to compete with some of the better rods in the game stat wise, because the other stats are actually quite good, like control 0.05, 30% resilience, 100,000 max kilograms, stuff like that. It's pretty good, and for a rod that's only worth 7k, having the hasty enchant on this can turn it into an absolute beast and an absolute gem for value of money for a rod. Next guys, let's talk about the Aurora rod. Here it is. I've currently got Divine on this rod guys, that's because I don't really have too many enchant relics, but I will tell you guys what the best enchant is for this one. So guys, the best enchants for this Aurora rod, I'd argue, is probably going to be Resilient. Now if you guys don't have Resilient and end up getting Controlled and have like one enchant relic yet left, I'd just leave Controlled on. It's like kind of a worse version of Resilient really. Now the reason why is because even though this rod has 6% resilience, it still is quite hard to catch things such as colossal squid with this rod. I've had so many Aurora colossal squid and I've never been able to catch them guys. Like honestly, if you have resilient on this, it makes it so much easier to catch those colossal squid and any other really tough fish guys, which can then of course sell for so much money, because of course the Aurora enchant makes things worth 6 times more. That's why guys, I'd personally say resilience is the best for this rod. Another one that's alright guys is hasty. That will increase the lure speed guys, which is 10%, which isn't very fast. That's just going to make you be able to catch fish faster guys, which is kind of cool. And also guys, one good one for both categories, for both increase in resilient and also lure speed, is steady guys. So steady is a decent enchant as well for this rod too, because it kind of gets the best of both worlds. Next guys, let's talk about the Rod of the Depths. This is kind of a recently added rod into the game there guys. And what about this rod? Is this rod any good? What's the best enchants for this one? Well, let me explain that right now. So guys, the best enchants for this rod are gonna be let me quickly see over here guys. So if you guys want to enchant this thing, then I'd probably argue the best way to go ahead and do this guys is I mean personally guys, looking at the stats here, it could benefit from well, I guess what most people do is they either do hasty, which makes this pretty much an instant catch rod. That's one thing that people normally do for this one, which does make it really good. So hasty is good guys, but also I think now guys you can get the abyssal enchant. So guys, the abyssal enchant is now the best enchant for farming money with this rod, because that'll make fish worth more and also bigger as well guys, which does allow you to go ahead and yeah, make more money with this rod guys. So either get abyssal or hasty. They're probably the best ones for this rod, I'd argue. The King's Rod next guys. I wouldn't even recommend this rod anymore for enchanting guys, but if you want to enchant this one, then here are the best enchants for it guys. Best one for this King's Rod depends on a few factors guys. So if you want luck, then probably Divine is quite good for this one, because it does kind of struggle in the luck front. Another really good one for this one is hasty guys. That's because of the fact that it's got minus 45% lure speed, which is quite low. And also as well as that, steady is good for increasing resilience, which is already quite strong to be fair guys. Also Sea King is quite good as well So I'd recommend that one too, guys. That'll just make things worth a little bit more. Sorry, it'll make things fish weigh a little bit more. Next, guys, is the Destiny rod. This rod is just OP for luck, guys. Best ones for this rod, it's going to be Hasty. It's got minus 10% lure speed. Essentially, guys, if you have a rod that's got low lure speed, Hasty is a good enchant for it. Another one for this, guys, is also going to be Resilience, Controlled, or Steady. That's because, guys, it has 0 control or resilience, guys. So again, if you see a rod like that, then those enchants are really good for the rod. That's how you guys can kind of start to see what enchants are good for rods and which ones aren't. Next, guys, you've got the mythical rod over here. I've got personally Divine on this one, guys. It's not the worst enchant in the world, Divine. I don't mind it. Personally, guys, if you get an enchant like Divine, I'd keep it on unless you guys have a lot more enchant relics, guys, to go, because it just increases your luck by 45%, which is quite good. Anyway, guys, best enchants for this one, I'd personally say are Resilient, Sea King, or Scrapper, guys. Now, some alternative ones for this are also Steady, Divine, Storming, and Quality. They're all decent ones for this mythical rod, it says here, guys. So that's kind of cool for the mythical rod. Again, I'm quite happy with my Divine enchant on this rod, guys. Okay, Trident rod next. What's the best ones for this rod? Well, guys, Hasty is generally considered as the best enchant for the Trident rod. That's because, guys, the Trident rod only has 20% lure speed, but paired with Hasty, guys, makes this nearly instant catch. Also, guys, Controlled, Resilient, and Quality are also quite good too, because that will help with the 0 resilience and control that the rod does have, which can make it harder to catch bigger fish, guys. The only reason why you might not want to have those is because the rod itself already gives the ability to kind of speed up catch and progress, which does make it easier to catch the harder fish. So that's kind of why you might not want to have those ones, guys. Okay, next is the Relic rod. What's going to be the best relic enchant for the Relic rod, guys? That's the brand new rod that's been added. It's probably going to be Hasty, to be honest, guys. Hasty is quite good because it's got 20% lure speed. That can, of course, be increased quite nicely. Another one probably is going to be Divine, guys. It's only really got 25% luck, which is quite low. So Divine could help with this. Other than that, guys, I wouldn't really recommend any other enchants for the Relic rod, personally, guys. I wouldn't even recommend enchanting Relic rod. I'm just saying this because it's the new rod in the game, and you guys might be wondering what the best enchants are for it. Okay, No Life rod, guys. What's the best enchant for this? Well, probably going to be Quality. That'll increase your lure speed, I'm pretty sure, and also Resilience, which is going to be quite good, guys. Another one too is that as well. You can also get the Abyssal enchant on this, which will make, of course, farming a fish better, guys. Apparently, this also now has a 30% chance for the Hex mutation to be caught on fish from the No Life rod, which I actually didn't realize. So that's new. That must have been added recently, guys. So yeah, that's quite good, and that'll make fish worth more, which is kind of cool, guys. And then we got the Sunken rod. So what about the Sunken rod, guys? Best enchant for the Sunken rod is definitely going to be Hasty, because it has 30% lure speed. That can, of course, be increased, and therefore you'll be able to catch fish so much faster. It can also go ahead and benefit. I mean, to be honest, guys, I wouldn't really recommend anything else. That's just because, guys, Hasty will make this so good for farming of treasure maps, because one in every what is it, guys? Is it one in every 10 catches you have a 25% chance higher to catch a treasure map, guys. So if you have Hasty, you're gonna get through them 10 catches a lot quicker, and that's why I'd recommend Hasty for this rod and no other enchants. So yeah, guys, that's currently the best enchants for each rod in the game in Fish. I guess, guys, like and subscribe for more.